Good morning, good morning, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. This is Tasha M Dyer, the Trade Whisperer, creator of the BYOB Cash Out Strategy. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So, guys, as you log in this morning, go ahead and drop it in the chat. Drop it in the chat. Let me know where you're calling in from, along with your affirmations. While I officially welcome each and every last one of you all to BYOB, Be Your Own Bank Profit Call. So good morning, good morning, and good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning, and good morning. So we're about to get this call started here. Let me see. Who do we have on the line? Let's see. All right, I say Minnesota, Bahamas, good morning. Milwaukee, good morning. Good morning, Toledo. Good morning, England. Good morning, Cleveland. Good morning, Jacksonville. Good morning, Cleveland. Good morning, Now, I know it's more of you all. I see you, Jacksonville. Good morning, So you definitely want to make sure. So yes, absolutely. So you definitely want to make sure. So guys, just know you need to go to our page. Yes. Okay. While we're dropping this, okay. We have people chiming in on Facebook, on YouTube. You need to make sure you go like our page. Be Your Own Bank Movement. Go like our page, guys. Go. And right now, go share from our page, like our page. Also, you want to make sure that you are also liking that YouTube channel. That's where your resources is. So you definitely want to be subscribed as information. I'm telling you, this is a September to remember. So, all right. So let me see. We don't have a location, but I see Maryland. All right. And this is Wealthy Wednesday. Yes, it is Wealthy Wednesday. So let's talk affirmations. Let's get started. Let me ask a question. Did any of you guys take any profit? We know we got news coming up here this morning. The market didn't move a lot. There's an anticipation kind of going on. Didn't have a lot of movement. Was kind of trying to look over the charts and see what's actually happening today. But at the same time, we ride the wave of the market. We don't force the issue. We don't question it. If it's there, it's there. If it's not, it's not. And that's why you guys are walking with that accuracy rate that you're walking with. That's why, you kind of walk away with that thought process, with that mentality, because you know that you are wealthy. You know that you walk in wealth. You know that you're anointed for wealth. Right? You're going to just kind of ride the wave, right? We ride the wave. All right. So let me go ahead, and I am a BYOB master trader anointed for wealth. I am the signal. All my trades in profit. I am 777, right? So we definitely want to make sure that you have that. Now, of course, add to it. Just don't take away from it. I see you guys consistently adding to it, right? Some of you are just, do the basics, where it's the beginning of your affirmations. And some of you all, definitely have quite a bit on here, right? You have quite a bit. So maybe I missed something. Say not in Forex, just crypto. Okay, you took profit. Okay. I was like, wait, did I miss something? I saw the message late. Okay, I got you. All right, so let me go ahead and get my screen share. And as I do that, let me know if this is your first time with us. If it's your first time, let me get a 111 in the chat. And if you are still learning how to cash out, let me get a 222. Hold on 1 second. All right, so drop that and give me 1 second here. Let's see. All right, here we go. So let me say welcome, and welcome back. I got a 2-2 like with both, like all into like I'm still learning, but I am here. So let me explain to you all how these calls work, so you really grasp that understanding. Monday through Thursday, all right, guys. Monday through Thursday, We're here, we're live, market analysis, profit call, right? So really, really helping you guys understand how to read the markets, how to do that. Because one thing I do promise you is you want to make sure that you're walking in that understanding. Now, there's a lot out there, but what I can't take from you is a skill set. So you always want to focus and build on that skill set. That's where your success consistent is going to be. That's where it's going to lie. And then, of course, we train and we implement. We train and we implement, okay? So in the evenings, and y'all forgive me because I'm trying not to cough on y'all. Like I'm telling you, it takes a while to get over this. I've been doing really, really good. So that's what this is all about this morning. So just bear with me just a little bit. You know, I love y'all. All right. So in the evenings, okay, in the evenings. So what we do is we educate and we implement. We educate and we implement. So in the evenings on Tuesdays is our basics. We lay down the foundation. Tonight is HFX simplified. And then of course, tomorrow night is our advanced. So we grow with you through the week. Okay. So we implement, we educate, we implement. So this is an implementation call. And this one is get at our indices. Now, we don't force anything, okay? So what does that mean? When we see things like we got monetary policy report. Now, this explains why the market has not been moving. So understand that everything that we do fundamentally gives the market direction. It helps the market understand where it's going. It gives the market direction. We understand where the market's going. So if there is an anticipation of something, then guess what? Then the market is going to slow down and we ride the wave. I want you guys to get in the mindset that you big bank frequency, we trade like banks. We operate on big bank frequency. I want you to treat your trade account like you are operating it from a bank perspective. So what bankers do is if the market is slow, they get up and go do something else. They go take a lunch, they go, and they come back and they check the charts, but they're not sitting on a chart. They understand what the fundamentals mean. This is the point I'm making. We understand what the fundamental, do you need to spend time on the charts? Absolutely. But we also need to understand the fundamentals. So when you have things like, right, you got interest rate decision coming up here very soon. You got monetary policy report. Now, this report, let's click it, okay? Let's click it. We're going to dig in deep. So we always want to know. Now, we trade from our technical analysis. We did some analyzation this morning. We walked through some of those things. That's where we trade from. We trade from a technical analysis. However, we understand the fundamentals is what moves the market. Now, the sentiment is how they feel about it, not how you feel about it. How they feel about it, not how you feel about it, okay? So what you're seeing, all right, this is irregular. It is today. And so all of this is actually happening. So this is just like we are waiting on these reports. Hey, happy Wealthy Wednesday. I see you on YouTube. All right. So this is what we're waiting on. So we might not get a lot of movement on top of the fact that we have a red folder from CAD coming up at 10 o'clock. Okay. So I just kind of want you guys to understand that. And then as we drop down, we have red folders today. So the market might not really start getting that movement we want until after 10 o'clock, all right? But what we're going to do is we're going to go through it. We're still going to, let me see if I got one. Good morning. Let's see here. Everything timed me out. So I know crypto had a nice closeout. That's why when you say I took profit on crypto had a nice closeout. I'm just looking for one I could write over. Now, this one did move, okay? I'm going to the indices. I'm going to walk you through the BYOB cash out. I'm looking for a chart that I don't mind marking over. But this one did move. Now, you see, I told you guys that you would have took it. I mean, it's really no liquidity right there to there. But you would have, if anything, it would have been here to here. And you saw this starting to happen this morning. We kind of marked this up. So this is one of those bounce back trades, okay? Now, you see it coming up on that trend line, right, that we did. So we'll continue to dive into that. So if you're new with us this morning and you have not really kind of got into that, right, and you're still trying to grasp the trends and utilizing that tool, trust me, we are going to take our time with it. And I'm going to continue to walk you through it. And we're going to continue to do that in the mornings, okay? Now, of course, we might be, we'll mark over this one. So you can see where we rejected. So everything is playing out the way that we analyzed it this morning, where we understood this. Now playing out, obviously, it's no liquidity. That's what another reason why I'm showing you this. We marked this up this morning. If you were not on this morning's call, I'm not going to redo it. You're going to go back to the YouTube channel and watch the stream so you can understand, because now you can see where this played out. And of course, this is our GBP. This is the one we're going to go over. This is the GBP USD that we discussed. And you can kind of see how it's still hanging in the same area, same space, same place, had a little correction that we talked about. And you can see how that's pulling up. So that's just a little recap from this morning's call. You know, this one's still kind of stuck right there. So basically all of this is because of what we're waiting on. So this is that fundamentals. And so, you know, the economic drivers is what moves the market. And so when the economic drivers are not there, then the market kind of sits still. And that's actually what you're looking at right now. Now, the reason I wanted another chart, we're going to jump to the indices, but I want to add oil on here. You know, we got the CAD report on top of the fact that this was one of those bounce back trades and it pulled for a buy off of the hour. So we're going to mark this one up too. All right, we're going to mark this one up too. Close the pivots out. But before we do that, we're going to get started here. Okay, we're going to dive in here and we're going to walk through. Now, I do want to point this out just in case it'll let me in here, because you guys always see me on a dark background. Okay, I'm definitely, you know, there are two ways you can access the vibrata. And just based on a conversation I had yesterday, obviously, you know, when you're looking here, obviously we pulled this chart out to the side because, you know, everybody sees things differently. So, you know, you see this in our basics call where this is actually pulled out, right? You see where this is pulled out, and we utilize this to help you identify the real price in the market and what you'd be looking for. But you normally see me with it closed until I really, really need it, right? So, but it's explained thoroughly on the basics call. Now, based on the conversation I had, and it's the same perspective, so I want to make sure everybody understands how you can utilize these things. I'm cutting the volume off because, you know, they added it, you know, it's not one of our three indicators that we utilize. So I just always come in here and cut it off. But I want you guys to see that there is a light background. There's a white background too. We got to this the same way we got to the other twos, okay? So I'm going to do a little something different this morning. I'm actually going to pull up our indices because I'm going to analyze this one initially from here, but I'm going to, here we go. I'm going to analyze this one initially from here, right? But, you know, just to kind of show you how it works. So notice that this is the call alerts, right? That the triggers, they're over here to the right. When we're accustomed to every time we pull this, we see it over here to the left, okay? It's the same thing, so it's here. And so I'll just kind of incorporate this a little bit just based on the fact that, you know, we want to make sure that we're talking to everybody because some of you guys do like this lighter background. You know, some of you guys do like this, you know, the lighter background, right? Definitely. And so I just want to make sure because we have people trading with us from 7 all the way to their 80s, right? So from children to 80s. And of course, throughout life, vision, different things begin to play an effect. And so we want to make sure you understand every tool and resource that you really have available to you so you can be successful. Because this might be my preference is this dark background, but it might not be your preference, right? The same way this might be your preference to look here and but as in mine is here. So it's all about, right? We all drive different. So it's the same thing. We're doing the same thing, but we're just driving a little different, okay? So now look, hold on. Let me jump up here. Y'all see this GBP, huh? Now, we already have it marked up. So I just kind of want you to pay attention. Look at where it's at. So as we gear up and as we begin moving, I want you also to kind of pay attention to our GBPs, all right? So I do want you to pay attention to your GBPs. You see it sitting on that support line. It's still not all the way flat. Like you see how we still got a little wick right there. I'm gonna walk you through the strategy, but I'm gonna jump over here to our indices, okay? So I'm telling you because GBP gets some liquidity, but Euro also has, right? Euro also has that in there. All right, so now, here we go. Now you notice it's triggered on the 5 minutes. So yes, do we have our markup here, okay? Do we have our markup? Good morning, Jacksonville. Glad to see you. I'm so glad to see you. All right, so here we have, like I said, we have our, where we already have it marked up, where it's already here, right? So you can definitely see. Now, as I pull up, we're going to come back over. You see, I'm looking for the IML. You see how it's highlighted? That's how you get to this website, imlwebanalyzer.com. But if I'm inside of where I go into the im.center, it says vibrato. All right, so that's what your tabs will say. So now this trigger for a buy. All right, and it triggered a while back. Now, based on what we know, we'll see how that plays out and what it does. So does anybody, I just want a little feedback. Like, does anybody use the white background? Does anybody use the one inside of im.center? Or is this actually might be a preference for some of you all who have been using a dark one? Just kind of curious. Like I said, this is based on a training conversation that I had yesterday. And so I know some of you guys do use it, but I also want to speak to everybody, right? So as I look here, all right, so here's the 5 minute. So, you don't use it, but you like it. And this is exactly why I wanted to pull it out, because I want to make sure you know that it's available to you, right? I want you to know it's the exact same chart. Once again, the same way we do the time frames, from one time frame to another, we're looking at the same thing. It's just looking at it from a different perspective. So this is the exact same thing. And just like some people have a preference where, some of us like the darker one, some of us like the lighter one. So it's all preference and how it is to your personal eyesight. So here we are with the 5 minute, right? So we know we triggered for a buy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and drop this trigger on here and I'm going to walk you through the strategy. All right. Now, on this one, we could use blue lines. Look, blue lines, blue lines, blue lines. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this call price on here. And y'all bear with me because I never use this one. I know how to use it. I'm on here, and it went away. All right. So, but I'm always on the dark one. That's just my preference. I've been using that since. You see how it's flashing? All right. So 0.92. Here we go. All right. So once again, remember, this was 2 hours ago. This is not recent, but I'm just trying to walk you through it from an understanding. Everything is the same. It just might be in a different location, right? It's just like driving a different car. That's all we're doing is driving a different car. It's still going to have a gas pedal and a brake. It's still going to have, it's still going to have the transmission, right? It's going to have the drive, the brake, the drive, the reverse, the neutral. It has everything. It still has the tools. It has the alerts. It has our time for, where we want to pull a preference from. It has our indices, like everything, our foreign exchange. All of this is here just in a different location. So do you got the keyless entry or do you still got to put the key in the car? Like, how are you driving? It doesn't matter. It all does the same thing, right? So this is where we triggered. Now, understand what we typically call in a correction, okay? So here on the 5 minute, all right? So it triggered for a buy. Now, what I want to do is I want to check my 30 minute. Now, when I come here and I check my 30 minute, you can definitely see a while back, it was definitely, we were good because it's 30 minutes. So this is this one. And then we had an hour. It's over 2 hours. So we definitely had a valid trigger right here. Okay. We definitely had a valid trigger right here. And so understanding that we had a valid trigger right here, I want you to know that we still have to analyze it. I mean, at that point, my stochastic was in a buy. You're looking at the fact that my candles are in a buy, right? Everything was kind of in that buy. But I do want to know, this is why it's so important for you to know where you are. It's so important for you to know where you are. Because if I jump up here to my hour, okay, and I squinch my chart up, see how I'm doing the same thing? I squinch my chart up. And if I squinch my chart up, okay, let me make sure we're looking at this. Yeah, let's make sure we got them on Hikanashi candles, guys. Let's make sure we're on Hikanashi. So as we look, right, we want to see, look at the fact of how this is reacting, okay? I want you to see this. So this is why, another reason why this was a valid trigger for a buy. Now, did we pull back? Yes, we did. But you want to see that when this triggered, okay, this was my trigger price, trigger for a buy. I'm looking, and let me move this to the side some. When I look, so we did we looked at our we looked at the strategy, we looked at our trigger, the call price, then we looked at the time frame confluence. Everything looked good. You notice I haven't dropped down yet. When I drop down, now is you need to drop down, but the reason I'm shifting a little bit is because I want you guys to understand that when we drop down, that's really like that entry point. Now I want to get you guys in the habit of understanding what each thing means, what it means, right? So my lower time frames are really to tighten up that entry point. So those, if I'm to take a buy, that should still be buying, right? That's why you have always heard me say still be buying, okay? So it's still buying, right? So as we look now, but I still need to know. So I went from there, I did some of the time frame confluence to see where, to make sure we were buying, that it was a valid trigger. The trigger is very valid. But now I want to know where I'm in the market, because this will determine if I even want to enter the trade. So I'm just trying to show you what each thing means, like what it actually means. So now as I'm looking at this, and you can definitely see this right here, and you can see like how this is and what it's doing. I just want you guys to kind of see how it's rejected. So this is what we discussed yesterday from that closeout. And then right here, right, you can definitely see where this is sitting. So let me bold this just a little bit. So you guys see everything is the same. So, and we get to use blue. Haha, I can't use blue on another one. So now you can definitely see why it's getting rejected and what's going on right there. So you notice that I do believe, look at what's happening right here, that's a very valid trigger. We just have to break through there. And we'll see if we get any momentum, all right? We'll see. So if I come back over here, right, to my US 30, and you can definitely see where we were in the market, okay? You can definitely see what's happening, what's going on. We have the same thing. It looks the same. You see where it wicked out. I just didn't put the call price on here, but that is the psychological level, which this is close to. So as I'm looking, you got that one. And then, of course, if I drop the psychological, right? And of course, it's going to be a different blue, right? We're going to stick with our traditional blue. So just, I'm just trying to show everybody, change this to that color blue, make this a little bit bolder. So you can see that this is all reacting in that same area, in that same space, right? So, right, any questions, comments, or testimonies right now? Questions, comments, testimonies? All right, none, drop it in the chat. All right, so that's that. So now we see, so I'll probably pull it up. Now, one thing, unless, I know we got settings, count down the bar close, you can put it in here. Like I said, I don't think we're gonna get that. Now the one thing that you're not gonna get over here, unless I'm gonna go through here and play with these just to kind of make sure. So, but you're not gonna be able to pull that thing to the side, okay? How do I shrink the chart? Let me see here. Oh no, I don't want that. All right, so you see, all of these things you can kind of put on there. Now, what I'm talking about is actually, this little thing right here where you can see the price, right? So you're not going to be able to do this. Now, if somebody go in there and play with it and you find it, let me know, because I haven't found that yet. So I know they updated some settings in here not too long ago. So I just have to go back in and play and see if they actually added it, because I know it was not in there, and I don't think that you're going to be able to do it from in here. Now, as far as how do I shrink the chart? Well, it's a few things. I can utilize, right? I can scroll left, right? I can, when you notice how below the stochastic, I don't see this. You don't see the minus, the plus, the side buttons. So there are multiple ways you can do it. So I can either come in here and I can kind of widen it up like that with the plus. I could zoom in, right? So I can zoom in with the minus, with the negative sign, right? So plus and minus, that's right here. I can, utilize the price. I can use the price. I can squinch it like this just by moving the price. I can, so what you're doing is you're putting the mouse over it. You holding it, right clicking that down and just moving it, okay? Move it side to side as you're holding it. And then depending on the type of computer and mouse you have, you can, just kind of use the mouse track thing, or, mine is a wireless mouse. So it doesn't have the little thing, but it does have the touch thing on top of it. It just depends. So you can kind of play around with it. All right. So it's just different ways. So you just have to kind of get in there and play with it. So guys, I'm not expecting much. We shall see. You see, we're rejecting off of here. I'm going to drop down to the 5. You're welcome. You're so very welcome. So I'm going to drop down here, and we're going to see how we've already rejected off of here. So we're going to see if anything pulls through here and triggers. I do want, if it does drop, I want you to respect that. Now, let me help you. We have some master snipers. I call them super snipers, but they're master snipers. And so if you see a 777 or a 777 times 22 or a 777 times, look, I said times 22, I did. My child is studying what's an exaggeration right now. So I'm just having fun with it. But they might be like times 2, times 3. So you'll see, you'll see these things right through there, okay? So look, so you see gold is kind of bouncing off of here. We shall see, right? This is our safe haven. Now we have news. You know what I want to do while we got a few minutes? The reason why I put this right here is I want to look at this oil. Now, oil triggered, right? We got this news coming up. I want to spend just a minute or so over here. Get my count, make sure we stay on track. We got 2 minutes. So if I put this on here with this yellow, and I put this on here, and it triggered at 68.163, right? For oils, so 16. So it triggered back there like for that buy. All right. So from the from the bounce back, that's where it triggered from. So you can definitely see, if I put my trend line on here, don't forget on Thursday, we're digging a little bit deeper. Now, I would definitely have kind of done it this way, but like I tell you guys, you're going to make adjustments to your trend lines, okay? So you see that we had some sloppy price action, it didn't do it. So you're going to make adjustments to those, okay? So you can definitely see where those two kind of fall in there. How this one kind of it broke through, but now you can see where it respected and it began pulling up. Now I'm just trying to show you this because this was obviously, let's put the psychological level here, right? So you already had opportunity. I mentioned this morning, but then we didn't, it's like with so much going on, we never came back to it. And we got off the call, like, we didn't do oil. Nobody reminded me because all y'all was sleeping on this Wealthy Wednesday. So now that's the psychological level right there. And obviously we have another one. You got the 69 that is already passed right here. All right. Let me see. Somebody's unmuted. There we go. I got you. And right here. And obviously the next one is up here. So these are our psychological levels right there. Obviously you have the midpoints that's halfway in there, and that's kind of where this is hanging out right now in that midpoint area. So I do want you to pay attention because oil and CAD is heavily correlated, okay? So that's the news that we have coming up. Now, I'm telling you now, if we don't have any movement in about 10 minutes or so, with that news coming, we're going to go ahead and end the call because we're going to practice, right? We're going to practice. We are going to practice what we preach, which is proper trade planning. Perfect practice makes perfect. So what that means is we don't take trades. I don't care how good it looks that close to a bill, all right? We do not, or a red folder. We just don't do it. So let's see. I don't have a countdown. We're within that minute. I'm like, give me my countdown. All right. And we still don't have it. I know it's bell. There we go. Here we go. I'm like, I know we had the bell. I didn't get to do my ding, ding, ding this morning. See? All right. So all right. So here. You see how this is still downward, but look at this curve right here. So if you're on the lighter background, you're seeing the same thing. So we drop down, you kind of see it on here. Y'all must be special. You know, I love y'all. I have never, and I said I wasn't gonna do it. I have never like pulled this up and trained from it. So look at here, right? That means I love y'all. I'm telling you, I just want y'all to win. I just want y'all to win. So, you feel special? You should. You should feel very special. I'm telling you. All right. All right. Look how NASDAQ broke through here. Look at NASDAQ. NASDAQ just pulled through. Now I want to be mindful. Let's see what my 30-minute. All right. So now you see how it's reacting off of the trend line that we had already drawn. So nah. We're gonna be special. We're gonna be a wealthy kind of special. You can be whatever kind you want once you're wealthy. Well, that's what we are. We are wealthy kind of special. So a wealthy kind of special. That's what I'm gonna go with. So looks like, yeah. Did our GBP move at all? Let's see. Nope, nothing. So guys, once again, now NASDAQ, like I say, NASDAQ did, it kind of broke this line. And then of course, right, S&P, look at what S&P is doing. It kind of hangs out with US 30. They're the best of friends. So we're gonna make this the right color. So, right, you kind of see what they're doing right there. So gold is kind of hanging out of here. I'm telling you, the moves are here. Now, let me tell you, because I'm just like you guys. I'm not going to lie. When you get on here, you be like, oh, I miss those pre-COVID market days. You know, so yes, but let me help you understand what I love right now. I'm not feeling anything on this at this moment because you can see this is going to pull back up, or it should, unless something hits the news, because I know all cryptocurrency has some nice news going on where all of them kind of dropped yesterday. So this is where we are right now. I mean, even though it dropped, it's still not where we're coming from, right? So, but we make money the way it go. But now what I love is the fact that you guys actually understand the market now. Because what happens is when things just come easy, it can handicap you. So trust me, the market is going to fluctuate back. It'll go back to those days where we had beautiful, trendy markets all the time, right? Beautiful, trendy markets, very consistent, you know, all the time. And then what I do believe is that when things are like that, it handicaps you, because what happened is a lot of people found out real quick that they did not understand the market. And so in order to have the consistency, remember, you operate on big bank frequency. And so in order to have the consistency that you're looking for, you want to understand how the market moves. So if you can trade and you understand the fundamentals of the market, you understand the economic drivers, you understand all of those things that actually move the market, and understand when to take a trade, when to dive in, when to get in there. You see how this spiked down real quick, guys? So you when you understand that, trust me, I'm not in it right now either. I trade with you guys. So, it's not about missing it. It's about making sure it's right. But when you understand all of those economic drivers and you understand those things, then now you are empowered, and empower people. And first thing you're going to empower is your bank account. So that's how you're going to get those 6 figures in 6 months, because people will tell you, oh, trading is difficult. It's not hard. It's not hard at all. It's about just taking the time to grab the understanding. And so once you grab the understanding, you are definitely operating from a place of power. That's where you're operating from. So you can see how this did drop down right here. I can look at it over here as well. Let me squinch this back up. We operating. So today on this Wealthy Wednesday, all I need you guys thinking about is the fact that you operate from a place of power, all right? And you operate on big, a place of power. You're educated and you operate on big bank frequency, all right? We're going to raise our frequency. We're going to raise our frequency levels, and we're operating on big bank frequency, okay? So we are raising our frequency. We don't, look, it's nothing to get a credit union. They got some of the best rates, right? But we operate on big bank frequency. We need big bank activity, big bank. So we're not doing credit unions. We're not doing, we're doing big bank frequency. All right. Let us see. So you see NASDAQ is closing out. So NASDAQ has a little movement. If you did not take that trade, right, because we were walking through different things, you want to wait till it breaks here. You want to see where all your activity is, and you want to wait till it breaks. And so I just want to make sure you understand that. Now, if this does break, I want you to pay attention, okay? We only have about 5 minutes left. So I'm not pushing the issue, because what I'm telling you I have seen is this thing will push and then it'll pull back because it's waiting on that news. So, you know, look at how my stochastic is coming down on the 15 on my oil. So I don't like that. We're also approaching an overbought. Let me put the psych level on here for you guys. So I keep talking about it, but it's not on here. So this is that midpoint right there, okay? That's that midpoint. So you can see how it's reacting right here to that midpoint. Exactly, big bang frequency. That's all we do. We're going to stay on big bang frequency. So, and I just need y'all to get that in your mind. You muted, don't unmute. You're muted. Go ahead and say it loud. If you at work, they just going to think you crazy. But guess what? We're going to walk in big bang frequency. It's a wealthy Wednesday. And so they need to know that we crazy. They need to know that we operate with big bang mindsets and frequency. They need to know, because they need to bank. I can guarantee you somebody where you at need to understand that they need to be their own bank. So if you just loud and bold and confident, big bank frequency, okay? Big bank frequency. That's what we operate on. Big bank frequency. It's going to make you feel real good. When you say it with just boldness and confidence, it's going to make you feel real good. Yeah, look at this. I'm not feeling this. So gold is like, I don't like it when gold does this. So I do like that right there. I don't like this. So I'm gonna leave to let this be great. You can kind of see, let me get the right tool and kind of mark it up. Well, that'll work too. That's not the one I was going for, but that'll work. Right? So you can see where gold is kind of having that little rejection, which looks like consolidation on my lower time frames, right? But you can see it getting rejected. So did you do it? Did we put it in the atmosphere? Today is Wealthy Wednesday, and on Wealthy Wednesday, we on big bang frequency. Did we put it in the atmosphere? Is it in the atmosphere? You feeling good right now? Who did it? Who said it? Who's walking in it? Who's there? Big bang frequency. Who is it? So nobody want to respond. Can y'all hear me? Okay. I'm like, I know somebody did. Somebody need to say it. Okay, there we go. Y'all coming through. Y'all coming through now. Okay. All right. There you go. Get our minds right. All right, I'm gonna leave this alone. We did have a little movement, guys. There we got it. Yes. We had a little movement. And I hope somebody was at work, at a cubicle, or somewhere, you know, and if you're in a car, you need to say it like when you're in a car, you need, you know, like y'all sing to yourself. If you like me, knowing you can't sing, but if you're in a car by yourself, you having a concert, right? But if you're around other people, you be like, I'm not even gonna do this to you. So, but I need you to have that same boldness, right? That same boldness when you're in a car by yourself. And so when you're in your cubicle right now, I need you to, that's the energy we want. Because when you're doing that, you feel real good. You feel real good about yourself. Whether you can sing or not, you feel real good. That's that energy. It's going to shift some things for you today. All right? So look, now we're going to let it go. Now, and I'm going to tell you this. Any questions? Now's the time. Any questions, comments, or testimonies? Any questions, comments, or testimonies? Because we're going to do, perfect practice. I'm going to say this. Perfect practice makes perfect, not practice makes perfect. You can practice the wrong thing. So if we were to go in here right now, okay, I told y'all my scalp was coming through. If we were to go in here right now and attempt to take a trade at this moment, okay, knowing that we have these red folders, right? These are two big red folders. Now, what happens is with GBP, okay, GBP, and I was trying to see, we had some breaking news. So that's That's what that sell drop was for. So, or that little push. But with GBP, the overlap, right? The overlap with the US market at the bell is liquidity. However, that's why if it's a GBP or if it's USD first and foremost, like we didn't have a call on Monday. If it's GBP, then that's impact, right? They have the most liquidity in the market. So when I see that, then I'm not thrilled about diving in the market, okay? Not really thrilled about it. So I want to wait. I want to wait and see what economic impact this is going to have on the market. And then, of course, CAD has a red folder at 10. So we know this. So if we keep going, regardless if we see movement, regardless of what's happening, what we're doing is practicing bad habits, okay? That's what we're doing. We're practicing bad habits. So this, I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, because I know where your emotions live. This can spike up and you're like, oh my gosh, I should have took that. Do you know how many points that was? Do you understand it closed out? That was my analysis. And so what? Perfect practice, not practice makes perfect, because you're practicing and you're enforcing bad habits, which is getting into trades right before a bell, right before a red folder, right before a session changeover. We do not want to do that. Okay. We do not want to do that. So just like when in the sessions, like you guys always talking about what happens, I can't tell you 5 o'clock. Now it is Eastern, 5 o'clock Eastern. What happened? My trade, it hit stop loss. I was here. How many times do I tell you guys? How many times do we say you should not be from a 10 pip and cash out and a scalping method? How many times do we say do not do that? If you're going for longer than that, just let it sit and walk away. I see you with the ×3. So how many times do we say that? Well, all the time. And so what happens is at that rollover of the UTC time, when the UTC starts a new day, then it's so much liquidity that pushes into the market. So many orders, so many things. It's a new trading day at our time at 5. It's a new trading day. So it's the spreads, right? Orders, right? Because think about it. You got pennant orders. You have so many things that are out there because remember, we're looking at real live data, real live people buying and selling. So if I got a pennant order for that day, guess when it's going to go into effect? At that day. And that's the start of the day. So the spreads just widen. There's so many factors. And you trying to get 10 pips with a 2 or 5 pip stop loss or 2 pip stop loss, and yet the spread jumped to 15. So instead of having to cover 1 pip for your broker, now you got your spread, 15 pips, the broker fee, and all of that, and you wonder why you hit stop loss. I'm trying to tell you, perfect practice makes perfect. Sometimes you might not understand it, but follow it until you learn it. Just walk in a wealth mindset. Perfect practice makes perfect, okay? And I see you again. I got a 777 times 3 times 3. So super scalpers take charge, all right? So questions, comments? Well, you're welcome. Perfect practice, not practice makes perfect. I know this is what we've been scalping over here. So the PSAR down here, I already know that's what they've been scalping, okay? So that's that movement right there. That's that movement. You see we spiked down. We had that breaking news. When you look at this, I don't like that wick out. It's buying. My stochastic is still selling. That's not touching that. So not doing it. Now, I do like the 4 hours, so let it settle, and then you come back and you take it. But if it's not going, this one's in the 5 minutes going in the right direction. My 15, don't like it. Let the bell roll around. Let the news hit, and then you start trading. You live to trade another day. All right. No other questions, comments, because this is when you guys should be asking your questions. When we know. Like, look what S&P is doing. So that's a good sign right there. What's their 15? See the same thing? See that mixture right there? But now look, we got a new 15. You see how this pulled up? We just starting to get a hook. Remember, my stochastic is my leading indicator, not my candle, but my trend of that has shifted. So US 30, you do see now we're pulling up. Now we're pulling up. I don't like how this is. I see the 777s. So basically, for those of you all who are newer, you're learning how this moves. Okay, you're learning how this moves. For those of you all who have been trading for a while, you already are getting a good feel for how it moves. But I'm talking, that's your personal trade plan. Now, I trade with you guys, but I'm not in a trade right now. I'm not taking a trade right now. I'm okay with not driving in this because I know the news is coming up. So, and it also spiked down and it turned around and started coming back up. So, all right. But hey, for those of you all who took the trade, I'm happy that you walked out in profit. I really am, because you have to really kind of dive in and kind of understand what you're doing in order for you to scalp like that. So that means that, you guys, but I'm praying you have the consistency of what you're looking for. See, I don't like how it's kind of sitting in this area, like this pulled up right here, this pulled down, now I pull back up right there. US 30 is doing the same thing. It's doing the same thing. You see how I pulled up, pulled down, and then it wicked back up. So it's the inconsistency that's coming with that. So I don't like that. A super scalper is okay. A super scalper will dive in and take it. I personally don't like that from where the higher time frame tells me the market's going. You see, I got a wicked out candle. I got a stochastic with a curve on it, so just let the market get clear direction. So you were watching it and didn't take it. I didn't take it either. So, like I said, that's good. And I'm telling you, I like the smoothness of a trade. That's a lot of fluctuation in a trade. All right. I like the smoothness. So I'm not in one right now. When I tell you guys to take a trade, then I take a trade as well. If I ever tell you guys to take a trade, I'm taking a trade too. So we gonna be in this together. We all in this together. All right. So you can see, right, where this kind of, you know what I mean? Like this, so gold kind of pulled down. But it's also approaching that oversold area. So I'm definitely waiting. All right. No other questions, comments, or testimonies. Remember tonight is our HFX. And then tomorrow is our advance. Of course, we'll be here in the morning. Remember, I told you it's a short week, but we're going to make money. We're going to have a profitable week. All right, guys? So definitely want to make sure that you guys are walking in that wealth. And just today, remember, it's Wealthy Wednesday. It's Wealthy Wednesday, and we're going to operate in big bang frequency. That's all we're going to do. So there you have it. All right, guys? I love each and every last one of you all. No other questions or comments. I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to Ms. Brownlee.
Thank you so much, Ms. Dyer. You have such a wonderful expression of love, and we love you. You're special to us. Let's pray. Great God, be exalted in our midst. You are great and greatly to be praised. You're Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. You're the great I am, the lily of the valley and the bright and morning star. We see you high and lifted up, and we see your train filling the temple. You are an amazing God, and you amaze us on a daily basis. As the centurion amazed you, show us, God, how we can individually and collectively amaze you. For we delight to do your will, and your commandments are not grievous to us. So we say yes to your will, yes to your way, and yes to your word. We are thankful, appreciative, and grateful for our amazing dream team, Dr. Bythewood, Miss Dyer, and Mr. Rogers. Our second generation of educators, Mrs. Anderson, Ms. Brantley, Ms. Perry, Mr. Sims, and Pastor Washington. And we are absolutely ecstatic, God, for what you're doing for us, to us, and through us in this year of transformation, this September to remember. And as you lead us to the next 1 million households by March 28, 2022, God, we ask that you would empower them, that they would be impacted and educated just as we are. And as we give you thanks in everything, in Jesus' name we pray. Amen and thank God. And this concludes this prophet call. We'll see you tonight at 9 p.m. God bless as we go our way in walking in wealth, prosperity, and abundance.